Do you ever wonder why it's so difficult to just get started, especially with an online business or any new goal or habit you want to create? Why is it so difficult to get started? You know what you want to do, but you can't seem to push through. Even if you do get started, then you run the risk and you run into this challenge or obstacle, this imaginary kind of ceiling that you can't see, you can't fathom, you don't know why you're just stuck. Well, in today's episode of the podcast, that's what I want to talk about. There's a great book called The Alchemist. It's one of those books that I've probably listened to, I don't know, 100 different times. And every time I listen to it, I get a new insight. Something new that pops up that I go, man, I really can resonate with this. If you haven't read The Alchemist, I'll give you kind of a quick synopsis. So there's a boy, they call it just the boy, that realizes as a sheep herder he wants more out of life. He meets a king, and the king tells him, amongst other people, that, hey, you have a personal legend to follow, a dream that you should chase after. And the universe loves when you have this thing called the personal legend, and it does everything in its power to allow you to achieve your personal legend. This personal legend for him is a treasure that's near the pyramids. And so he embarks on this journey, and the book follows him along this journey and finding his personal legend, the trials and tribulations. And obviously there's a nice parable here between the boy getting his treasure and you creating an online business or growing your online business. So along his journey, he immediately gets robbed, and not having any money, not knowing what to do next, stumbles upon a crystal merchant. And so he goes to the crystal merchant and he goes, hey, you know what? I need to save up some money. He doesn't want to tell him that he's going after a treasure because he literally just got robbed. So he just tells him, hey, I want to save some money so I can buy some sheep. And I want to go to the pyramids. The guy's like, why do you want to go to the pyramids? That's weird. By the way, I'm paraphrasing here. That's not the exact dialogue of the book. It doesn't sound exactly like this. It's a lot more intelligent. So anyway, he tells the crystal merchant, yeah, I want to go to the pyramids. That's the thing I want to do. And the guy's like, why do you want to go to the pyramids? He says, well, have you never wanted to travel yourself? Have you never had a dream like this to go after it? And he goes, well, yeah, actually, as a Muslim, one of the things that Muhammad tells me to go after, tells everyone to go after, is to make a trek to Mecca. And he goes, I never have done it. I watch people that are poorer than me. He said, I started this crystal shop to make enough money to go on this pilgrimage. But then I just kept making excuses. I kept not going. And I would see people that were far more poor than me making the pilgrimage. I would see people older than me have issues getting there. And every time they come back, they were incredibly happy and glad that they went, but I never did it myself. And he says something that I think is incredibly poignant to what we're talking about today. He says, I've always dreamed of going to Mecca, the holy city, but it's just that, a dream. I don't want to realize it because then what will keep me going? We have these dreams of starting a business or growing it to 7-figure, whatever that number is for you. We have this dream of getting to the next level. But yet, deep down, subconsciously, there's a little bit of us that goes, well, crap, what if we make it? What if I hit this goal? There's going to be all these and we create these excuses. Man, if I do make it to the next side, I'm going to have all these employees. I'm not going to want to do it. I don't want to deal with all that. And so we create these barriers or obstacles for ourselves to actually getting to the next place. I don't think it's a matter of I don't think we actually worry so much about what if it doesn't work. I don't think that part is as difficult. There's some people like myself, personality-wise, I take a lot of risks. I don't mind taking the risk. You could argue it's from athletics in the past when I was a pro fighter and all this and I was a wrestler. Like I'm used to hey, there's a chance I could lose, but I'll learn something. That little mind shift is relatively easy to learn. And if you have this inkling of entrepreneurship, this inkling of, hey, I want to create an online business, you probably have a little bit of that too. So I don't necessarily think the what if it doesn't work is the thing that actually stops us in our tracks to creating. For some people, for sure. Right? You have a 9-to-5 job. It's pretty cush. You think about your family. And again, no one's telling you have to quit everything and go full in on this online business. That would be pretty stupid. That's what I did, but I didn't really have a choice in the matter. I got laid off and then said, well, screw it. Instead of going to work for somebody else and being told when my time is up, I might as well create my own thing. That way I always have something that's going on for me. Not everyone has that situation come up. So you don't have to do it that way. You could obviously keep your 9 to 5, keep your safety net, if you will, and still build. So I don't necessarily think it's the what if it doesn't work. What I think is more powerful, and what I think holds back more people, is the what if it does work? What if I get to that, luxurious, magical number that people online make up, which is the 6-figure limit? What happens if I do hit that goal? What happens to me then? Who will I become? For some people, it's really exciting. For others, whether you know it or not, it could be a limiting factor for you. Because without the dream, who will you be then? Again, going back to the crystal merchant, he says himself that, hey, that's the thing that gets me up in the morning. The thing that gets me up in the morning, every morning, is, hey, I'm doing this so I can make the pilgrimage to Mecca. And one day, it's a nice little dream. Like, I think about something really stupid that I do is along the same lines, is every once in a while, especially like right now, as of recording this, I mean, the Powerball's at like $400 million, something like that. And so every once in a while, you go out and you buy a lottery ticket. Now, I know I'm not going to win. Okay, the chances of me winning is pretty much slim to none. So why do I do it? It's just nice to think about what I would do with the $400 million. There's like a night, that you get to think about it and imagine picking up the lottery ticket and what would you do with it. And then the more you think about it, the more, at least for me, the anxiety comes up of, man, what if I did actually win? That would be really stressful because I would have to kind of hide that I had the money so that way people don't bother me for money and I don't get random calls from cousins I didn't even know I had. Like, all this other stuff comes in. So you don't really want to win. It's nice to dream a little bit. That's where the term wantrepreneurs comes up. There's a lot of wantrepreneurs out there who like the idea of being an entrepreneur and having an online business, but they don't want to go through the actual trials and tribulations of getting there. So the question is for you, which one are you more like? Are you the boy or are you the merchant in this situation? Are you the boy that after, by the way, he raises enough money, there is a moment where you don't think he's going to continue on his journey to his personal legend, and he remembers why he was doing it for in the first place, and he starts to think about being that crystal merchant who never does anything, who dies knowing that, like, you never actually went after your goal, you never tried, you stopped when things got a little tough? Are you the boy who continues on and follows his personal legend, goes after the big dream, goes after the thing that scares you a little bit? Or are you the crystal merchant who likes just having this idea, this dream that deep down you're never going to go after? That deep down that you just like the image of it, you like the feeling of it. Either way, it's fine, but I think the important message today is to know which one you are and make a change if you want to. Do you follow your personal legend or not? That is the question. With that being said, hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. It's been a minute since I've created an episode. We were 2 weeks into the Philippines, so we're just coming back from that, getting back in the swing of things. I have another episode dropping here soon because I got 2 ideas that I wrote while I was out, so I'll drop that here soon. If you haven't done it already, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, helps me out, helps people see the podcast, see the videos that we're posting here, but also too, make sure you go on Spotify. I personally like Spotify. Like, I know everyone listens to the podcast over on Apple. I don't know why you're not watching it over on Spotify, because the cool thing about Spotify, you get to watch the actual video. You don't get that over on Apple Podcast today. Maybe that'll change one day. With that being said, thanks for listening, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.